Yangzhou is a prefecture-level city in central Jiangsu, China. Sitting on the north bank of the Yangtze, it borders the provincial capital Nanjing to the southwest, Huai'an to the north, Yancheng to the northeast, Taizhou to the east, and Zhenjiang across the river to the south. Its population was 4,414,681 at the 2010 census, and its urban area is home to 2,146,980 inhabitants, including 3 urban districts, currently in the agglomeration. Historically, Yangzhou is one of the wealthiest cities in China, known at various periods for its great merchant families, poets, artists, and scholars. Its name refers to its former position as the capital of the ancient Yangzhou prefecture in Imperial China. Administration. Currently, the prefecture-level city of Yangzhou administers 6 county-level divisions, including 3 districts, 2 county-level cities and 1 county. Accordingly, they are further divided into 98 township-level divisions, including 87 towns and townships, and 11 sub-districts. History. Guangling, the first settlement in the Yangzhou area, was founded in the spring and autumn period. After the defeat of Yu by King Fuai of Wu, a garrison city was built 12 meters above the water level on the north bank of the Yangtze Sea. 485 BC. This city, in the shape of a 3x3 li square, was named Yancheng. The newly built Tang Canal formed a moat around the south and east sides of the city. The purpose of Yancheng was to protect Suzhou from naval invasion from Qi. In 590, the city began to be called Yangzhou, which was the traditional name of what was the entire southeastern part of China then. Under Emperor Yang of Sui, Yangzhou was the southern capital of China. It was called Jiangdu upon the completion of the Grand Canal until the fall of the Sui dynasty. By the mid-610s, a combination of fruitless attempts to conquer the Korean kingdom of Goguryeo, together with natural disasters and provincial unrest, ensured many people Emperor Yang had lost the legitimacy of his monarchy. As revolts spread across China in 616, the emperor abandoned the north and meanwhile withdrew to Jiangsu, where he remained until his assassination in 618. Tang Dynasty. The city has remained a leading economic and cultural center and major port of foreign trade and external exchange since the Tang Dynasty. Many Arab and Persian merchants lived in the city in the 7th century, but they were massacred in the thousands in 760 during the Enlushan rebellion by Tian Shenggong's rebel insurgents during the Yangzhou massacre. During the Tang Dynasty, many merchants from Silla also lived in Yangzhou. There were also Arabic inscriptions from the 13th and 14th centuries. The city, still known as Guangling, was briefly made the capital of Wu during the 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms period. From Song to Ming, Yangzhou was briefly the temporary seat of the Song dynasty government between 1128 and 1129, when most of North China had been conquered by the Jurchens during the Jin-Song Wars. The Song had retreated south to the city from their original capital in Kaifeng after it was captured by the Jurchen in the Jingkang incident of 1127. From Yangzhou, the Song moved to Hangzhou in 1129, later establishing it as the capital of the southern Song. In 1280, Yangzhou was the site of a massive gunpowder explosion when the bomb store of the Huai'an arsenal accidentally caught fire. This blast killed over 100 guards, hurled debris from buildings into the air that landed 10 li away from the site of the explosion, and could be felt 100 li away as tiles on roofs shook. Marco Polo claimed to have served the Yuan dynasty in Yangzhou under Kublai Khan in the period around 1282 to 1287. Although some versions of Polo's memoirs imply that he was the governor of Yangzhou, it is more likely that he was an official in the salt industry, if indeed he was employed there at all. Chinese texts offer no supporting evidence for his claim. The discovery of the 1342 tomb of Caterina Vigliani, member of an Italian trading family in Yangzhou, does, however, suggest the existence of a thriving Italian community in the city in the 14th century. During the Ming dynasty until the 19th century, Yangzhou acted as a major trade exchange center for salt, rice, and silk. The Ming were largely responsible for building the city as it now stands and surrounding it with 9 kilometers of walls. Early Qing. After the fall of Beijing and northern China to the Manchus in 1644, Yangzhou remained under the control of the short-lived southern Ming based in Nanjing. Qing forces led by Prince Dodo reached Yangzhou in the spring of 1645, and despite the heroic efforts of its chief defender, Shi Kefa, the city fell on May 20, 1645, after a brief siege. The 10-day Yangzhou massacre followed, in which, as it was traditionally alleged, 800,000 people died. Shi Kefa himself was killed by the Manchus when he refused to switch his allegiance to the Qing regime. The city's rapid recovery from these events and its great prosperity through the early and middle years of the Qing dynasty were due to its role as administrative center of the Liangwei sector of the government salt monopoly. As early as 1655, the Dutch envoy Johan Neerhoff described the city commented on the city's salt trade as follows. This trade alone has so very much enriched the inhabitants of this town, that they have rebuilt their city since the last destruction by the Tartars, erecting it in as great splendor as it was at first. Famed at that time and since for literature, art, and the gardens of its merchant families, many of which were visited by the Kangxi and Qianling emperors during their southern tours. The Qing-era Yangzhou has been the focus of intensive research by historians. Late Qing and early modern era. The Yangzhou riot in 1868 was a pivotal moment of Anglo-Chinese relations during late Qing China that almost led to war. The crisis was fomented by the scholar officials of the city, who opposed the presence of foreign Christian missionaries there. The riot that resulted was an angry crowd estimated at 8 to 10,000 who assaulted the premises of the British China Inland Mission in Yangzhou by looting, burning and attacking the missionaries led by Hudson Taylor. No one was killed, however several of the missionaries were injured as they were forced to flee for their lives. As a result of the report of the riot, the British consul in Shanghai, Sir Walter Henry Medhurst, took 70 Royal Marines in a man-of-war and steamed up the Yangtze to Nanjing in a controversial show of force that eventually resulted in an official apology from Viceroy Zheng Guofan and financial restitution made to the injured missionaries. From the time of the Taiping Rebellion to the end of the Communist Revolution, Yangzhou was in decline, due to war damage and neglect of the Grand Canal as railways replaced it in importance. During the Second Sino-Japanese War, it endured 8 years of enemy occupation and was used by the Japanese as a site for internment camps. About 1,200 civilians of Allied nationalities from Shanghai were transported here in 1943, and located in one of 3 camps. Camps B and C were closed down in September 1943, after the Second American-Japanese prisoner exchange, and their inhabitants transferred back to Shanghai camps. Camp C, located in the former American mission in the northwest of the city, was maintained for the duration of the war. Among early plans for railways in the late Qing was one for a line that would connect Yangzhou to the north, but this was jettisoned in favor of an alternative route. The city's status as a leading economic center in China was never to be restored. Not until the 1990s did it begin to regain some semblance of prosperity, benefiting from national economic growth and a number of targeted development projects. It also has some industrial output, chiefly in cotton and textiles. In 2004, a railway linked Yangzhou for the first time with Nanjing. Geography. Yangzhou is located on a plain north of the Yangtze. The Grand Canal, also known as the Jinghan Canal, crosses the prefecture level from the north to the south. Its modern route passes through the eastern outskirts of Yangzhou's main urban area, while its old route runs through the city center. Other major bodies of water within the prefecture-level city include the Baoche River, Datong River, Baichengzi River, Tongyang Canal, Xintongyang Canal, Baima Lake, Baoyang Lake, Gaoyu Lake, and Shaobo Lake. Like much of the entire prefecture-level city, Jiangsu's main urban area is crisscrossed by an intricate network of canals and small lakes. The historic city center is surrounded by canals on all sides. The Old Grand Canal forms its eastern and southern boundaries. The City Moat Canal runs along the former walled city's northern edge, connecting the Old Grand Canal with the slender West Lake. The Erdroa Canal runs along the old city's western edge, from the slender West Lake to the Lotus Flower Pond, which in its turn is connected by the short Erdego Canal with the Old Grand Canal. It is possible to sail a small watercraft from the thin West Lake, via the Erdroa, the Hehua Pond, and the Erdego into the Old Grand Canal. Climate. Subtropical monsoon climate with humid changeable wind, longer winters for about 4 months, summers 3 months and shorter springs and autumns 2 months respectively, frost-free period of 222 days and annual average sunshine of 2,177 hours. Average temperature 15 degrees Celsius annually, the hottest in July of 27.6 degrees Celsius and the coldest in January of 1.7 degrees Celsius, maximum temperature of 39.8 degrees Celsius and minimum -5 degrees Celsius. The annual average precipitation is 1,030 millimeters. And about 45% of rainfall is concentrated in the summer. The rainy season, known as plum rain season, usually lasts from mid-June to late July. During this season, the plums are ripening, hence the name plum rain. Transportation. Yangzhou has one Yangtze River crossing, the Runyang Yangtze River Bridge Complex, which has one of the longest suspension bridge spans in the world, and carries the G4011 Yangzhou-Liyang Expressway to Zhenjiang. The Yangzhou Taizhou Airport, completed in 2012 to serve Yangzhou and neighboring Taizhou, is located in Jiangsu District. The Nanjing Lukou International Airport is over 100 kilometers away. It takes 1 hour and 40 minutes to get there from central Yangzhou. Prior to the completion of the Yangzhou Taizhou Airport, Lukou Airport in Nanjing was the primary air gateway for passengers destined for Yangzhou. There are over 10 airline ticket offices in Yangzhou, providing convenient service for foreign and domestic tourists. Rail. Until 2004, Yangzhou was not served by passenger rail. Yangzhou Railway Station began construction in 2003 and was completed a year later. It is located on the western outskirts of the city, and is a major station on the Nanjing-Qidong Railway, and provides direct passenger service to the provincial capital as well as a number of major cities to the west, north, and south, including an overnight Z-series express train to Beijing. There is no direct rail service between Yangzhou and Shanghai, however, to travel to Shanghai, or elsewhere in the Yangtze Delta regions, passengers cross the Yangtze over the new Runyang Bridge to Zhenjiang and take a train from the Zhenjiang Railway Station, which is located on the main Nanjing-Shanghai rail line. Harbor. Yangzhou Harbor, 11.5 kilometers south from the city center, is located at the junction of the Beijing-Hangzhou Canal and the Yangtze River. The average water depth is 15 to 20 meters. In 1992, the State Council approved it to become a first-grade open state harbor, and General Secretary Jiang Zemin inscribed its name. Now, it has developed into a comprehensive harbor, integrating passenger, freight, container transportation and harbor trade. and has become the main distribution center of northern Jiangsu province, eastern Anhui province and southeast Shandong province. There are several dozen categories of goods including iron and steel, timber, minerals, coal, grain, cotton, container, products of light industry and machinery. The passenger routes reach Nanjing, Wuhu, Zhejiang, Huangshi and Wuhan in the west, and Nantong and Shanghai in the east. Some well-known luxury international liners also anchor here. The harbor has greatly promoted the development of exports and the overall local economy. Expressways. The Nanyang Expressway crosses the southern part of Yangzhou's metropolitan area, while the Nintong Expressway is connected to Yangzhou at Liaojiago. In recent years, local government have attached great importance to the development of the tourism, in conjunction with a greater effort dedicated to the improvement of the local road transport system. With a total investment of 680 million yuan, the Yangzhou section of the Nanyang Expressway was completed on December 18, 1998 and opened to traffic in June 1999. Stretching nearly 18 kilometers, the section of the expressway starts from the Bazi flyover as the entry/exit, via the Yanghua Highway, the Tonggang Highway, an ancient canal, the Yangwei Highway, the Beijing-Hangzhou Grand Canal and the Yangling Highway, to Liaojiago entry/exit of Yangzhang Highway. It then passes the Jiangdu flyover to directly link up with the Huai'an Expressway. In addition, the section of Huai'an Expressway within the territory of Yangzhou began construction on March 22, 1997, which will be commonly used by the state-planned Tongjiang-Sanya and Beijing-Shanghai trunk lines. The section of Huai'an Expressway in Yangzhou totals 112.04 kilometers in length. Starting from Jing'e town of Baoying in the north to the entry/exit of Jueqiaozhen flyover of Jiangdu in the south. It then links with Nintong Expressway, passing by 3 counties such as Baoying, Gaoyu and Jiangdu and 26 towns. At a total cost of 3.7 billion yuan. It is expected to be open to traffic by the year 2000. Intercity bus service during the daytime. Frequent bus service operates between Yangzhou and nearby cities. There are several bus stations on the city's outskirts. Most of the buses from Nanjing and Zhenjiang arrive to Yangzhou South Bus Station, located a few kilometers southwest from downtown. Most of the intercity bus service stops in the early evening. Transportation in the urban area. The city is served by an extensive network of public bus routes. Yangzhou's taxi industry began in 1982, and has developed rapidly since 1993. The city has over 40 taxi companies of various ownership structures, with a total of 1,571 vehicles. Parking lots were established at key stations and hotels, and 8 taxi companies have opened round-the-clock telephone service. The construction department of the municipal government has strengthened the management of taxi services, providing education in the relevant laws, professional ethics and safety aspects. Tourist transportation. To develop tourism in Yangzhou, sightseeing buses have been introduced in the city run by the Tianma travel agency under the Yangzhou Tourist Bureau. There is a tour guide on each bus. The route, starting from Yangzhou Station, has 8 stops, and passes by such scenic spots of the Slender West Lake, Daming Temple, Imperial Dock, Sawang Pagoda, Wenchang Pagoda and Shita Temple. Yangzhou Public Transit also operates Number 1, Number 5 and Number 2 special tourist lines. Number 1 bus departs from the bus station, and goes by the Slender West Lake, Shigong Temple, Gaiwan Garden and Heiwan Garden. Number 5 bus starts from the bus station, and goes by the Crane Temple, Wenchang Pagoda, Slender West Lake, 5 Pavilion Bridge, and Pingshan Hall. A sightseeing route on Slender West Lake has opened, connecting Imperial Dock, Yichun Garden, Huang Garden, Dehong Bridge, Shaojinshan, Diaoyutai, 5 Pavilion Bridge, and the 24 Bridge, finally reaching Daming Temple and Pingshan Hall. Cuisine. Yangzhou dishes may be one of the reasons why the people of Yangzhou are so infatuated with their city. They have an appealing color, aroma, taste and appearance. The original color of each ingredient is preserved after cooking, and no oily sauce is added, so as to retain the fresh flavor of the food. In Yangzhou, all dishes, whether cheap or expensive, are elaborate. Cooks will not scrimp on their work, even with juganzi, a popular dish that costs only a few yuan. Dry bean curd is made by each restaurant that serves it, so the flavor is guaranteed. The cook slices the 1 cm thick curd into 30 shreds, each 1 paper thin but none broken, and then stews them for hours with chopped bamboo shoots and shelled shrimps in chicken soup. In this way the dry bean curd shreds can soak up the flavor of the other ingredients, and the soup is clear but savory. Not only Yangzhou cooks, but also the ordinary people are conscientious about cooking. Fuchun Tea House. Yangzhou fried rice is said to have been invented by a person who was a former Yangzhou magistrate.